Italy has very much similarity with India. Surrounded by mountain on the northern side, then two side sea, country of common culture and all. But unlike India before 1947, it was ruled by small states. This country was also the victim of non-Italian leadership. I told you people were already in trouble. Who gave the taste of unity? Who gave the taste of unity to German states? Austria. German Diet. So now, after preparing German unification, one thing will be very clear. Germany, Italy, US, India. What is the first requirement for a country to become a nation? Political unity. Political unity, political. Who gave political unity to German states? Austria. By German Diet. Who gave political unity to Italian states? Napoleon. Who gave a political unity to 13 colonies? First Philadelphia Convention. Who gave political unity to Indian states? East India Company. Clear? What is the first requirement? For a country to become a nation, political unity. What is the second requirement? Economic unity. Zollverein. Who gave? Prussia. Economic unity? Napoleon. US. Constitution. India. East India Company. Social unity. Constitution. Constitution. Fundamental rights. Fundamental rights. What is the fourth requirement? The fourth requirement is rules and regulations. So all these countries have their own constitutions. Economic unity, political unity, economic unity, social unity and constitutional unity. Now, let's see how Italy moved towards unification. 5 phases. We'll discuss it one by one. First phase, Carbonari. Second phase, role of Mazzini. Third phase, role of Cavour. Fourth phase, revolutionary councils. Fifth phase, role of Garibaldi. 5 phases. And we'll discuss all the 5 phases one by one. First phase, Carbonari. Secret societies. Secret societies, objective, to overthrow the monarchy and unite the Italian states. But I told you, if you remember the formula, that two things are required for the success of a revolt, revolution, movement. A strong internal support and a strong external support. Hope you remember it when I was discussing American Civil War, Abraham Lincoln. A strong internal support and a strong external support. Both were missing. Both were missing. Majority population was suffering from poverty and illiteracy. Means the condition of India in 1907 during the time of Khudiram Bose and Prafulla Chaki. No internal support. And Vienna Congress has already made the decision that all types of nationalist movement will be suppressed. So no external support. And when the revolt took place in Naples, when the revolt took place in Naples in 1820, it was brutally crushed. And this was the message to the intellectual class of Italian states. We have to do the groundwork. And from here starts the second phase. Role of Mazzini. Role of Mazzini. Gandhi of Italy. He is considered as Gandhi of Italy. Gandhi. What was the role of Gandhi in India? Awareness and awakening. Gandhi played a very important role of awareness and awakening in India. The role which Gandhi played in India, the same role was played by Mazzini in Italy. He starts Young Italy movement. And Gandhi, inspired by Mazzini, starts a newspaper, Young India. Young Italy movement. Objective? Down-filtration theory. Down-filtration theory. Inform the youth about the goal and objective, and youth will take the goal and objective to the masses. And from here starts the story of student politics, which you see today in college and universities, students' union. Down-filtration theory. This was the first major thing which he did. You see, Gandhi comes during non-cooperation. National colleges. Who takes over the charge of national colleges? Subhash Chandra Bose and Lala Lajpat Rai. And then from 1920 onwards, during Simon Commission, you will get the mass, huge participation of youth, 1927. And once the youth becomes active, national movement gets a temperament. Youth is the father of the nation. Second thing he says, Austria is the biggest hurdle in Italian unification. And third thing he says, Austria is the biggest hurdle Young Italy movement. And third thing he says that Italian unification will require outside support. He gives the blueprint for Italian unification. And from here starts the third phase. Role of Cavour. Chancellor of Sardinia, the Italian state. Victor Emmanuel was the ruler. And he has already given the modern parameter to his state. And both the ruler and the chancellor were aspiring for Italian unification. Sardinia has got the edge in Vienna Congress. I said all the smaller states whose rulers were missing, they were given to Sardinia, so position of Sardinia has strengthened. And both the ruler and the chancellor had the dream of Italian unification. And in this dream, both of them had a dream of Italian unification. And they got the blueprint from Mazzini. It was very clear that they have to fight a war with Austria. Same condition as it was in front of Bismarck. So when you have to fight a war against Austria, that means you have to prepare for the war. So what will be the first step of Cavour? The first step of Cavour was economic empowerment. Economic empowerment of Sardinia. Financial institutions, infrastructure, industry. Second step, military empowerment. Now the question was how to get outside support. And people will support you only when you will support their interest, when you will strengthen their interest. Sir, I repeatedly say things to you other than the subject. And I appeal to you, I request to you, please pay attention on it. And the thing which I repeatedly mention in every class is yoga and meditation. A strong body and a strong mind can do anything. One of my students got selected in 2020's prelims examination. She disqualified prelims for 3 times. 3 times. This was her 4th attempt. And I tell you, she was in the hospital for 2 months, July and August. October was her paper. It's a real story. Aditi Jain. Aditi Jain. Note down the name. Aditi Jain. She's a tall lady, 5'7" height. Well prepared. Well prepared. I always take the unique names. Although I have so many names, but I always search out the unique names which can inspire you. Nupur Goyal, 11th rank. Final selection in the last attempt. 11th rank. I'll ask her to come and address all of you. Nupur Goyal. Very great lady, very great. Aditi Jain, she was in hospital. I was telling you she was in hospital for 2 months, September, October. She got only 1 month, she was in hospital July, August, sorry. She got only 1 month for revision. Although she knew the things, but 1 month for revision. And she thought that I was already in the hospital. So what she did? She practiced previous year's question paper only for 1 month. Current affair, practice. Current affair, practice. She went into the examination hall. She has already given 3 attempts. Knowledge level was good. But what helped her to get the selection? She was without expectation in the examination hall. And as she had no expectation, there was no pressure. You always minded. It's not that you don't know, then you commit the mistake. No. In 98% cases, you commit the mistake because of pressure. Aditi Jain. If the God's mercy will on her head, she will get under 50 rank. She will get under 50 rank, under 50. Sir, there are many people who did not went to the training. They have done 120 in GS, 125 GS, 130. Failed in CSET. Failed in CSET. That is why I always say to you, yoga and meditation. Meditation helps you to overcome the stress, pressure, panicness. They are the enemies. They are the enemies. Dream is there, blueprint is there. Economic empowerment, military empowerment is there. Now, what is the requirement? How to get outside support. And I said people will support you only when you will support their interest. Crimean War was going on. Crimean War, we'll discuss. Don't worry. Crimean War was going on. Britain and France on one side, Russia on another. Britain, France, Turkey on one side, Russia on another. What Cavo did? He sends his army. Sends his army to support Britain and France. And due to the over-enthusiastic role of his army, Britain and France were victorious in Crimean War. And when Britain and France were victorious in Crimean War due to the role of Italian army, after the war, Britain and France organized Paris Peace Conference. Very important. Paris Peace Conference 1856. All the European powers, Turkey, they all were invited. Cavour was also invited as a representative of Italy. That is why it is said that Italy was born in the marshy land of Crimea. This can be a question. Marshy land. Italy was born in the marshy land of Crimea. Italy was born in the marshy land of Crimea. Invitation to Cavour as a representative of Italy, you mean? You know what does it mean? It means that they accept Italy as an independent nation. And here, Britain and France gave assurance to Cavour that we will help you in your unification. But poor and weak people, they only get assurance, like Dalai Lama. Poor and weak people, they only get assurance, like Dalai Lama. The saint is roaming in the entire world, pleading, Tibet is a slave, Tibet is a slave. If by God's grace there would have been oil in Tibet, the entire Western world would have jumped for the cause of Dalai Lama. But they know, why to fight for that plateau? Why to fight for that plateau? They gave the assurance to Cavour, but assurance, help was not coming. Cavour was becoming impatient. And in that impatience, Cavour moves towards Napoleon III. And he says to Napoleon III, "Ki sir, if you help me, in case the war starts against Austria, sir, I will give you some big gift." Alright, Napoleon III, you people, shut up. You say a big gift, and then you create the trouble. Cavour said, "No, sir, this time 100% I'll give you the gift." And then Napoleon III promised, "Okay, fine, I'll help you." And when Cavour got the assurance of Napoleon III, he started border dispute with Austria. Border dispute slowly turned into war. Now when the war started between Sardinia and Austria, Cavour started unification. Unification of northern states. And then Sardinia defeats Austria. When Austria was defeated by Sardinia, then Austrians said, no. Dog cannot bark without the backing of the master. And then they started finding out that who's the master. Dog can bark only in two conditions. Either the dog is mad or the master is behind the dog. And then they started searching the connection of the master, and they reached to Napoleon III. When they reached to Napoleon III, then they called Napoleon. They scolded, "You idiot, what are you doing? You are helping Bismarck, you are helping Cavour. And once they will become nations, we will become beggars." Napoleon III understood. Austria said, "We are the bhais of Europe. We have to live like a bhai." Napoleon said, "We are bhai." They said, "Yes." And then Napoleon III pulled out the backing to Cavour. Never fight on the strength of others. Very important formula. Never fight on the strength of others. never fight on the strength of others. Napoleon pulled out. "95% people are mentally unstable in this world. Those who are mentally strong, they are kings. I have seen people talking to everyone about optional. Sir, should I take history as optional? You take it. No, sir, people were saying syllabus is very weak and people don't get the marks in history. Okay, then you ask from those people. Those who were saying, ask them. No, sir, someone was saying geography is also good. You take geography. Sir, but somewhere again saying that geography has a good big syllabus. Then, sir, anthropology gives good marks. You take anthropology. But sir, good teachers are not there. Phir? Philosophy, somewhere saying philosophy also, sir. It's very small syllabus. Huh? You are for philosophy. I don't understand philosophy, sir. You opt for Kama Sutra as optional. You idiot, you get out from here. Wife, husband, and optional should be of self-choice and taste. Taste means interest. It's not that you go and pull out a hair of a person and you eat it and you say, it's tasty. No, not that taste. Interest, your psychology, your thought process. Wife, husband, and optional. Weapon also. These 4 things should be of self-interest. I was in Allahabad University, and in university, gang of students. So one of my friend had a clash with someone. He came to the hostel, and then in hostel, when if one person in a hostel is being beaten, the gang comes out and goes out. So I was there, and one of my friend had some dispute with the other guy. He came to the hostel and people started moving out on bike and all. I was a new entrant. I was also enthusiastic. I said, Bhaiya, I will also come. We went to the house of that person, and I was asked, I was so highly enthusiastic, and I was asked, go and knock the door, ask him to come, and I went and started knocking. You come out of there. And that person opened the door with a pistol in his hand. I pointed the pistol, the ball. And then when I turned behind, no one was there behind me. I started shivering, crying. I said, Bhaiya, I am sorry, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, people have come to beat you. I have come to inform you. And by God's grace, his younger brother was my classmate, and he has seen me with his younger brother. Later on, he said to me, Panditji, your fate was very strong. Otherwise, when I took out the pistol, I shoot. And he was a very good sharpshooter of that time. Then I understood the pain of Cavour. Subhash Chandra Bose, fighting on other strength. Germany pulls back. Japan pulls back. S.C. Bose is helpless. Kohima incident. But Gandhi is fighting on self-strength. That is why Gandhi is great. Self-strength, no outside support. दे दी हमें आजादी बिना खटक बिना ढाल, साबरमती के संत तूने कर दिया कमाल. You have given us independence without sword. You saint of Sabarmati, you are really a miracle. Now Cavour was alone, he cannot do anything. Cavour surrenders and resigns as a chancellor, but first phase of Italian unification was completed as northern states were integrated. This was followed by the fourth phase, formation of revolutionary councils. And these revolutionary councils were inspired by revolution of 1830 and 1848. They were saying that the king should act. Who is a king? Representative of people. So the king should act according to the wish of the people. Southern states, revolutionary councils in southern states. And these councils demanded plebiscite. The kings accepted the plebiscite. Southern states also got integrated in the union, with three exceptions: Naples, Sicily, and Rome. And this led to the fifth phase, the role of Garibaldi. S.C. Bose, Cavour, J.L. Nehru, master of diplomacy, Mahatma Gandhi, Garibaldi, Subhash Chandra Bose. Wherever there will be revolution, he will go to participate. Wherever there will be revolution, revolt, he will go to participate. He comes, forms a force called 1000. With that force, he enters into Naples. People were already awakened. He got the outside support of the masses, and the ruler was forced to come down. This trend was followed in other two states. And finally, Rome also got integrated in 1870, and with that, the story of Italian unification was completed. Mahatma Gandhi, awakening and awareness. Cavour, J.L. Nehru, master of diplomacy. Garibaldi, S.C. Bose, INA, Italian National Army. Therefore, till 1870s, Germany was a nation, Italy was a nation, and the birth of these new industrialized nations. You remember the discussion which I did with the beginning of the class syllabus? The birth of these new industrialized nations started. Birth of new industrialized nations. Birth of new industrialized nations started changing political equations in Europe, leading to the big development in the beginning of 20th century, that is First World War. So write down the new heading, First World War. Hope you are getting all these stories, you are understanding it. Study to learn, learn to develop understanding, understanding to become great. If you simply develop humanism as a human being, then also you are great. India is a country where 90% people have wrong concepts in life. To become great, you need money in India. To become great, you need power. Gandhi has no money, but he is very powerful. Today, majority of people think to become great, you require a post. No. Gandhi has no post. To become great, you have to be the part of the government. No. Ram Manohar Lohia was always in a position, and while he was dying, while he was dying, his last words in his unconscious was, I will always remain the leader of opposition. Money is not required, power is required. Spiritual, capital, muscle. That is why, if you see in this country, past 30 years, there was a very big conspiracy in this country regarding education policy. Students were not taught the importance of understanding. These missionary schools, they did a very good job. They gave a good education. But they rarely bothered about the legacy of Indian culture. Many times I have seen that they are against Indian culture. I don't know why. Possibly they don't understand. I have got my education in a missionary school, Fatima Inter College. And they were very much committed to our education. Whatever I am today, that is because of that school also. That is why I am never completely against Macaulay. And I don't blame him. I blame Indians. The day Macaulay and Patanjali will be united, this country will become great again. The day Macaulay and Patanjali will be united, this country will become great again. If you simply adopt Patanjali, then also something will be missing. But if you simply adopt Macaulay, everything will be missing. Don't only get panicked. I want job. I have to study only for job. Study is for evolution. When you qualify IAS, tomorrow when you become member of parliament, you become Prime Minister. Then also you saw Modi reading the life story of Obama. I was very surprised. I don't know why he was doing the photo session. But I think as a Prime Minister, he must be reading the books. I accept it. The higher you go, the more knowledge you require. First World War. Headings. Reasons. Course of the war. Evaluation. And important events. During and after the war. First event, Russian Revolution of 1917. Russian Revolution. Second, Treaty of Versailles 1919. I will give all the headings, don't worry. Third event, League of Nations 1920. Fourth event, Economic Depression 1929. Very important event. I thought this will again happen in 2039, but it happened too earlier, 2020 only. The world changes after every 100 years. There is going to be a big change in the world. Corona and all are small things. Much bigger challenges are going to come. The world order is changing. Economic order is changing. Everything is changing. And fifth, aggressive nationalism. Nazism, fascism, Shintoism. Nazism, Germany. Fascism, Italy. Shintoism, Japan. We'll discuss them one by one. This too, very simple. You have to do it from the notes. There is nothing to discuss here. Nothing. It's a factual heading. Facts will be given. This is to be discussed. It's a very big heading, reasons. So write down the first heading, reasons. First heading, reasons. First reason. Clash between cotton chain reaction and coal and iron chain reaction. Clash between cotton chain reaction and coal and iron chain reaction. Cotton chain reaction I have already discussed. Now I will tell you about coal and iron chain reaction. Coal and iron chain reaction. Where? Germany. 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 Germany was rich in resources. Coal and iron. Plus, they also had technological achievements. They learned the art of melting iron ore with coke and charcoal, and this gave promotion to steel industry. Plus, they became the pioneers in what? They became the pioneers in automobile industry. Nicholas Otto and Carl Benz. Nicholas Otto and Carl Benz. 4-stroke combustion engine. And German cars are wonders. All cars are good, but German cars, German, Wagoner, they are not cars. Wagoner means two Bajaj Chetak scooter covered by a body. That is Wagoner. I have Wagoner. Car means Polo. Lowest segment German car, Polo. If you take Wagoner on expressway, Above 80, it starts shivering. Run de, run de, run de, run de. You will feel the voice coming from the engine. But when you take Polo after 120, it starts flying. The wings come out. Audi, Mercedes, Volkswagen. And in small segment, Polo is a wonder car. You feel when you drive it. Germans, pioneer in automobile industry. Now, because of this 1 and 2, 1 means resource, 2 means textile. Because of this 1 and 2, technology. Germans got the edge in iron and steel. Second largest producer of iron and steel in 1910. First largest producer, US. Second, Germany. Third, Britain. And second, pioneer in automobile industry. 18th century industrial revolution took place in England. 19th century Europe and America. 20th century entire world. 20th century industrial revolution was going on in entire world. There were many areas where trains were not possible. You see India, Northeast, Kashmir. Who will enter into those areas? Lorries, trucks. Who's the pioneer in lorry and truck? Germany. 20th century industrial revolution was going on in entire world. What were the two important requirements? Steel and automobile. And this steel and automobile turned Germany as a sink of foreign reserve. And what is the most important requirement for industrial revolution? Capital. Clear? Connected, don't worry. Don't worry. Law of connectivity. Diagrams are a very important part to study. Pictures, they open your eyes. This work should be done by you also. You should start evolving it. Evolve yourself. Change yourself. Change Hindustan and the entire world. The entire world is eagerly waiting, watching towards India. The ray of hope, Gajwa-e-Hind. Not what these mullahs say. These mullahs don't know anything about Gajwa-e-Hind. Mullahs of any religion, it's not Musliman only. Mullahs. Mullahs are present in every religion. Foolish priests. Islam will conquer the entire world. True. But my Islam is the Islam of truth. I accept it. Yes, true. Truth will conquer the entire world. Not Muslims present period. OIC will occupy. No. No. There I differ. Sometimes they misunderstand me. Ramraj, yes, I want Sita Ramraj, woman empowerment and Ram. Sita Ramraj. Clear? This iron and steel and automobile turned Germany as the sink of foreign reserve, and this gave promotion to this. Make arrow below it, I don't have a space here. This gave promotion to Industrial Revolution in Germany. That is the other industries, chemical industry, textile industry, pharmaceutical industry. And this was called as chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, textile industry. When I don't write the words, that means I don't know the spelling. Don't get worried. Pharmaceutical, medicines, chemical, pharmaceutical, textile. And this was called as cotton chain reaction. Sorry. And this was called as coal and iron chain reaction. And the tag of made in Germany became the tension for Britain, US, France. As today, the tag of made in China is the tension for Western powers. And from here starts what? From here starts economic rivalry. Economic rivalry between Germany and the old bosses. If Guddu Bhaiya will try to occupy Mirzapur, old bosses, Shukla and Tripathi family, they will never allow. They will never allow. It's a gang war basically. What is world war? It's a gang war at international level. Gang war for what? Market, raw material. Simple gang war. Don't be so much tensed. What exactly world war? Gang war, yaar. Simple gang war. The gang war which you see between Chota Rajan and Dawood Ibrahim in Mumbai for the finance of Mumbai. This is a gang war for the finance of the world. And gang wars will have collateral damage. You see Eastern UP. There are certain families. In entire India there are certain families which are ruling. I am saying them. They are ruling for past 40 years. They are in power. They were in power. They are in power. 40. Father is member of parliament. Son is member of parliament. Mother is a member of legislative assembly. Driver is municipal corporation chief. Dog is councillor. Bihar is a land of intellectual people. Bihar is not having a good leader. I can't believe. But people, the conspiracy has been done in such a way that each family publicly shows that they are rivals, but internally they are allied. Whenever a new Guddu Bhaiya will try to emerge in front of Shukla and Tripathi, both will unite. Both will unite. It's very challenging for a middle class person in this country to make it. That is why Mr. Modi, I don't know how he is as a Prime Minister. Means I don't want to analyze it here. This is not the platform. It's not a political platform. But I have a very big respect for him. You know why? Because of his achievement. A person from such a lower strata of society has ruled this country for 10 years. I can imagine how he would have made his place, how he would have fought. Really. His achievement is to be appreciated. He will succeed as a Prime Minister or he will fail as a Prime Minister, that is a different thing. But in the present scenario, when there are so many dynasties in India, Gandhi dynasty, Yadav dynasty, Paswan dynasty, Chautala dynasty, Abdullah dynasty, Akali dynasty, he comes from a very lower strata. He pulls back all these dynasties and he occupies the country. That is the achievement. That is to be respected. Every time you cannot abuse him. People come in front of me, people from very strong background. They come in front of me and cry. This time again I have not qualified prelims. So what? You are not going to die, don't worry. No, my father is also unhappy. So, you are living for your father. And the way people demoralize you when you start doing the big things, the way people pounce on you, the way people attack you, the way people abuse you. I started Cycle Satyagraha, people started abusing me on Twitter, social media. My sympathizers were very much in unrest. Sir, I said, please, no one will give a single reply to anyone. Let them abuse. That is why for animals there are different types of sounds. A dog barks, a lion roars once in a day. That is sufficient. Sometimes you get unhappy, sometimes you are very much sad. I have seen many people, they are very much upset if they find anything against them on social media. Oh, no. What is the use of so much studying if you don't understand small principles? Economic rivalry. Common people fight for what? Mooch and pooch. Common people. They fight for mustaches and tail. You go into the villages, see the people. They are fighting for mustaches. Mustaches are gone, their head is gone. Everything is sold. For 100 square feet of land, they destroy themselves, their family, their immovable property. Just simply because they have to maintain their status in the village. Aristocracy fights for interest. War is important. Economic rivalry started between Germany and the old bosses. Economic rivalry prepared the ground for political rivalry. Political rivalry. And in political rivalry, the lead was taken by Germany when Germany shifted from the policy of conscious continentalism. When Germany shifted from the policy of conscious continentalism to aggressive imperialism. Now the question arises. First point, what is conscious continentalism? Conscious continentalism. 1871. Germany becomes a nation. And what is the formula? An infant nation and a nation in crisis. See the formula. An infant nation and the nation in crisis requires peace and stability. For what? For growth and development. Example, India 1971. India 1947 goes for Panchasheel. France 1799. This we have discussed. Peace with Europe. Formula. You should always work on the formula. Simple. See how formulas help you to understand. Enhance your understanding level. Immediately click. Yes. Bismarck was clear. Germany is infant. So he comes out with the policy of conscious continentalism. That is peace and stability. And under it, the important development was first development, Triple Alliance. That is the alliance between Austria, Germany and Italy. Triple Alliance. Russia became the friend as he promised not to interfere in the matters of Eastern Europe. Britain, good relations with Britain on two grounds. First ground, marriage alliance. Queen Victoria was from the royal family of Germany. And second, balance of power. Germany was a land power, Britain was a naval power. France was left alone. This was again a grand achievement of Bismarck. 1871. When entire Europe was fighting among themselves, he succeeds in maintaining peace with almost all the big powers of Europe and leaving France alone. But, so what is cautious continentalism? Cautious. So what is cautious continentalism? Panchasheel of Bismarck. But the story started changing with the arrival of Kaiser William II. Kaiser William II. Kaiser William II. He comes into power in 1888. Young, energetic, ambitious, but suffering from impatience, bad temperament, lack of experience, what else you require to fail in this life? Impatience is the biggest disease of human being, which rarity of rare people understand. Which turns into another disease called anxiety, and the worst form of anxiety is depression, and then acute form of depression is insanity. Beginning is impatience. But some people remain at the level of impatience throughout the life. They move from impatience to depression, depression to impatience, so they never understand that this is a disease. It's a disease, impatience. Impatience, depression, impatience, depression. And almost 99% people pass through it. But the beauty of this disease is it hurts you at a particular time. You prepared for IAS throughout the year and you have a very good preparation. Now when you last day, 4th October is examination, 3rd October you will suffer from anxiety, pressure. 4th October your examination is over, finished. But rarity of rare, you will never think, you will never be able to connect. I was unable to do questions properly because of anxiety, because on 5th October you will be fine. Even on 4th October evening you will be fine. This happens to majority people, majority. And they appear for 6 attempts, 7 attempts, they fail to qualify prelims, but they never try to understand what is the real problem. If you suffer from anger, you don't require an enemy outside. Lack of experience. Experience. The real value is of experience. To qualify IAS, even if you got first rank, they'll give you the training in Missouri. Then you will be appointed as a subordinate officer to the officers in the district. No direct posting. So that you should have experience of ground reality. Prithviraj Chauhan Shirajud-Dowla, they all lacked experience. Shirajud-Dowla, Battle of Plassey. Mir Jafar comes and says to him, sir, you leave the battlefield. Your life is in danger. And that young man, he did not think that in the game of chess and monarchy, king is important. If I will leave the battlefield, army will immediately surrender. And that happened. Shiraz was killed. Tipu Sultan, lack of experience. Ambitious man, surrounded by flatterers. It happens generally that powerful people get surrounded by flatterers. It happens that powerful people get surrounded by flatterers. And these flatterers disturb the mind of powerful people. He was also surrounded by flatterers. And those flatterers were saying to him, sir, it does not look good for you to be a German ruler. You deserve to be the world ruler. He said, Acha, then do something here. They said, we can do, but then this old man, Bismarck, he is jealous of you and your family and he is very powerful. He said, don't worry, I'll kick him out. They said, no sir, don't do this mistake. Directly you cannot do anything. Now, political hierarchy in Germany, emperor on the top, then chancellor, and then council of ministers. So from 1871, the tradition was that emperor connected with council of ministers only through chancellor. This was the respect given to Bismarck. What he did, William II, he started negotiating with council of ministers without chancellor. And this was an attack on the dignity and respect of Bismarck. And mature people, when they create something, they don't destroy it. 1890, Bismarck resigned. You see Kalin Bhaiya? He can eliminate anyone, but he cannot do anything to his son, Munna. You cannot create. Mature people, they will never destroy their own creativity. In 1890, Bismarck resigned. In 1890, when Bismarck resigned, then William II came out with this policy called aggressive imperialism or Weltpolitik. World politics. Aggressive imperialism or Weltpolitik. And wherever I have given you conscious continentalism, please correct it. It's cautious continentalism. It's not conscious continentalism, it's cautious continentalism. Now, Weltpolitik. The three important pillars of this policy were three important pillars of this policy. First pillar, naval empowerment. Naval empowerment, because William II said that the future of Germany lies on water. Indication towards Britain. Second pillar, territorial expansion. For what? Colonies. Third pillar, interference in world politics. These were the three pillars of aggressive imperialism, also called as Weltpolitik. Weltpolitik means world politics. And this was not simply the theoretical declaration of William II. No. This was not simply the theoretical declaration of William II. He started taking practical steps to support his policy. And under it, the two important examples. First one, Boer War. Boer, Dutch farmers. Where? South Africa. And they have revolted. Who? Boers. They have revolted against the exploitation done by British planters. These Dutch farmers have revolted against the exploitation done by British planters. William II gave moral support to the Dutch farmers. Moral. William II gave moral support to the Dutch farmers, and he also congratulated. He also congratulated Kruger, the rebel leader from Transvaal. He gives moral support to the Dutch farmers, and he also congratulated the rebel leader from Transvaal. Britain was surprised because till then Britain and Germany were friends under cautious continentalism. This is the first time when Germany goes against Britain. Acha, while this drama was going on, Queen Victoria died in England. He went to attend the funeral procession of Queen Victoria, and there the British officer said to him, "Sir, we are relatives, sir." He said, "We were. We were relatives. The relation was because of this lady. The lady has died. End of the relation." Britain was silent. Britain said it's okay. Britain considered it as an enthusiastic step of a young ruler. Plus, the main reason why Britain neglected this episode, Germany was a very good market for heavy industries of Britain. And Marwadis, they are bothered only about business and money. And Britishers are Marwadis. You go to the Marwadi shops. I have 3-4 Marwadi friends. Just go to their shop. Just go to their shops. See their behavior to the people. A Panditji will enter into the shop. Marwadi will immediately stand up. Ki, Prabhu, you came into the shop means God came into the shop. And now God cannot bargain. So a commodity of 100 rupees will be sold in 1000 rupees. Panditji is also happy. If Marwadi calls me God. If a Rajput enters, then also he stands up. Ki sir, you look like Rana Sanga, sir. When you walk, when you smile, the look of Rana Sanga and Rana Pratap comes from your face. Commodity of 100 rupees is sold in 1500. Marwadis are very much afraid of women. They cannot say anything to women. If they say ki you are a goddesses, women will immediately reply. Then do the offerings. Why you are asking money? Women have a great bargaining power. You cannot do marketing with women. No. They have to buy a handkerchief. At least 2 hours are required. One handkerchief. And during marriage season, if you go with the women of your family, you are gone. 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. in the evening, they will roam in the entire market. And then at 10:30 p.m. they will say to you, कि 4 saris are still left. And bargaining power, you will feel ashamed. If the shopkeeper said, कि भैया this pen is of 100, we get in 5 rupees in Chandni Chowk. 100 to 5. And sometimes they bring the commodity in 15 rupees. Britain neglected it. But when Britain neglected it, it increased the enthusiasm of William II. And then he turned towards the second issue, Morocco crisis. Morocco crisis. The North African country Morocco. Morocco Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt. North African countries, Mediterranean Sea, West Asia, Red Sea, Europe. Morocco, directly connected with Europe, Strait of Gibraltar. Morocco is the door for Europeans to enter into Africa. And Egypt is the door for Europeans to enter into Asia. Morocco at this time was under the control of France, and Egypt in this period was under the control of English. Morocco door for Europeans to enter into Africa. Egypt door for Europeans to enter into Asia. Morocco was under the control of France. Egypt was under the control of English, and both had a hidden agreement to use both the doors. Britain has neglected him in the issue of Boer War. That has increased his confidence and enthusiasm. And William II was clear that Britain and France are eternal enemies. So he calculated that Britain will not say anything to me. And then I will take away, and then both are rivals. And then I will take away Morocco from France. This was his calculation. And with this calculation, he personally visited Tangier, capital of Morocco. He assured the Sultan of Morocco, he assured the Sultan of Morocco to help him against French imperialism. And then to fulfill his promise, he starts sending dreadnoughts. He starts sending dreadnoughts, battleships, to help the Sultan of Morocco. But when he started sending battleships to Morocco, Britain was alarmed. Britain was alarmed, and Britain immediately sided with France. Lack of experience. There are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, only permanent interest. interest. These common people, they are happy with being a chaprasi, clerk. They don't understand the game of aristocracy. Sharad Babu was talking to Yusuf. Yusuf wanted to meet Munna alone. And what Sharad Babu did? He gifted Yusuf to Munna. You never know when the game will be in your favor and the game will go against you. Did that Khargosh would have ever thought that he will be killed in front of CM? Just imagine. It was beyond his imagination. CM of a state is sitting. You are sitting in front of CM. And a person strangulates you in front of a CM and your friend Munna is screaming, Munna bhaiya. You don't learn by seeing all these things. You can imagine the mindset of Kalim. He says, Ki as Maqbool is my right hand, you are the right hand of Munna. Lucknow chaloge? He'll come to Lucknow with us. He says, yes, yes. And then he says, Ki tomorrow, bath and come. Jao, kal naha dho ke aana. See the calculation he has done in his mind. It was a shock for Munna also. That is why he says, कि some are born Bahubali and some are trained to be a Bahubali. And I hope that I will be able to train Munna to become Bahubali. So when he kills his friend inside, he comes outside and says, कि Munna, you learned something? Munna says, yes. Pawns have no value in front of prince and king. And whenever you have to give the sacrifice, you have to give the sacrifice of pawns. King and prince are born to rule. In which book it's given? Mahabharata. But no one will read. Kingship knows no kinship. Kingship knows no kinship. William II, lack of experience. Now it was not possible for him to fight the combined armies of Britain and France. So he immediately backtracked. He said sorry. But then he made a demand. He said, I will leave the issue of Morocco, but I want share in the National Bank of Morocco. Who said? William II. He says, I want share in the National Bank of Morocco. And Britain agreed. It was in the interest of Britain. By Germany, he countered France, and now by supporting France, he is countering Germany. So he countered both of his rivals by using them against each other. But this policy of using the two rivals by using them against each other and appeasement towards William II proved harmful for Britain later on. Because William II developed it as a practice. Interfere, pressurize and bargain. There is a group in this world called B square. Born Battamiz. Born Battamiz. Symptoms. First symptom. You will never be able to make them understand anything. Munna is one of them. B square. You will never be able to make them understand anything. Second, they lack common sense. Third, they irritate those people who love them. Fourth, very important symptom, if you be very cordial to them, if you behave highly to them, they are going to misbehave with you. Well, you are saying, Bhaiya, Bhaiya, Bhaiya. You are coming to the class and you are saying, Bhaiya, please, Bhaiya, I can sit here. And then you kept your notebook there, and a person takes your notebook and throws on the last bench, and then you took out the pistol and inserted in the mouth of the person. And then, Are Bhaiya, Are Bhaiya. They are very much afraid of being beaten. William II is born Badtameez, born. He will never understand the kind gesture. He will always take this kind gesture in a reverse way. If you will say Bhaiya to him, he will think that you are afraid. And now he turns towards China and says, I want half of China. Britain said, I will take out my shoes and this increased the political rivalry between Germany and the old bosses. This economic and political rivalry led to the third development. General development. Economic and political rivalry led to general development, that is militarization, and formation of blocks. In militarization, Germany again took the lead. Naval empowerment, increasing dreadnoughts, increasing the number of dreadnoughts, battleships, and introducing U-boats, submarines, constructing Kiel Canal, adjoining Baltic Sea and North Sea. Britain was alarmed. Kiel Canal, adjoining Baltic Sea and North Sea, and railway project from Berlin to Baghdad. This trend was followed by other European powers, increasing the temperature in Europe, giving the message to all the powers in Europe that a big war is going to take place in future. And then, as a precaution, the European countries started forming the blocks. First one, Triple Alliance. Germany, Austria, Italy. Second, Dual Alliance, 1878, Russia and France. Third, Anglo-Japanese Alliance, 1902, very important. I'll tell you when I will discuss Japan, why Anglo-Japanese Alliance. And when Japan got the support of England, they slapped Russia in 1905. And then fourth, Triple Entente. Triple Entente, the diplomatic relation between Britain, France and Russia. Economic rivalry, political rivalry, general developments. Completed the script for what? For the big war. Economic rivalry, political rivalry, general development. Completed the script for the First World War. Shooting took place in Eastern Europe under the banner called Yashraj Films. No, don't write Yashraj. Under the banner called Eastern question. Fourth heading, Eastern question, very important. There is a possibility of 10 short notes from here. 10. Which is the area which comes under this question? Asia Minor. Asia Minor includes West Asia, West Asia means Hejaz, Iraq, Syria, Palestine, or Israel. And Eastern Europe, the area from Poland to Greece. The struggle between both the powers, Muslim powers, Christian powers, and the struggle between both the powers was called as crusade. What is the importance of this area? Importance. Heart of Silk Route. Heart of Silk Route. Suez Canal, reducing the distance between Europe and Asia, and oil reservoir. The first oil reservoir was found in Pennsylvania, 1847. Second oil reservoir, Romania, 1860. Third oil reservoir, Iran, 1910. Now, what is Eastern question? The war between Eastern Europe, West Asia for the dominancy of Silk Route is very old. So, I was telling you about Asia Minor, Hejaz, Syria, Iraq, Palestine, West Asia, or you can say Israel, Poland to Greece. This area is important this area is very crucial, heart of Silk Route, Suez Canal, reducing the distance between Europe and Asia, and oil reservoir. And I said, this area is in war from ancient times, time immemorial. And the fight between Christians and Muslims for the dominance of this route was called as crusade. All this we have discussed. Now, Both the groups wanted to dominate it. The important development took place in 1453. 1453, Turks occupied Constantinople, and in this way the Silk Route came under the control of Turks or Muslims. This we discussed in the first class when I was discussing about the syllabus. So this area came under the control of Turks 1453 or Muslims. Then from here Turks started entering into Europe. Till the end of 15th century, they occupied Eastern Europe. Turkish forces were stopped on the borders of Vienna. But then, till the end of 15th century, they were successful in occupying Eastern Europe. Now when Turkish forces occupied Eastern Europe, when Eastern Europe came under the command of Turks, the Muslim rulers of Eastern Europe, the Muslim rulers of Ottoman Empire, they never gave equal status to the Christian subjects of Eastern Europe. The Ottoman Turks, they never gave equal status to the Christian subjects of Eastern Europe. So from the very beginning of the Turkish rule, Eastern Europeans were against Turkish rule. From the very beginning of Turkish rule in Eastern Europe, Eastern Europeans were against Turkish rule. The story started changing from 17th century, when Russia comes into the race of Silk Route. How Russia came in the race of Silk Route, and what was its effect on Eastern question? Now Eastern Europe, Turkey, Ottoman Empire, Ottoman Turkey, Russia, Britain and France, Baltic Sea, Black Sea, Silk Route. What is the most important requirement for a country to become a nation? What is the most important requirement for a country to become a power? Economic power. And if Russia has to become an economic power, Russia has to dominate Silk Route. But three doors of Russia are closed. This door is permanently closed, Siberian desert. This door is permanently closed, Arctic. This door is partially closed, steppes, grassland, partially. This door is open. And this door opens in Europe. That is why it is asked. A large part of Russia is in Asia. Then why Russian history is the part of European history? Because the only door of Russia which opens in Europe. And then the story of modern Russia starts from Peter the Great. Why the story of modern Russia starts from Peter the Great? He came out with a policy called warm water policy. Warm water policy, warm. He came out with a policy called warm water policy. And under it, the objective of Russia was to dominate Baltic Sea and Black Sea. And from here starts the rivalry between Russia and Sweden, Russia and Turkey. Later on, Catherine II took away Crimea from Turkey. She defeats Turkish forces and she takes away Crimea. She takes away Crimea from Turkey. And from that time, Crimea became esophagus of Turkey. Esophagus, food pipe. So the rivalry between Russia and Turkey starts from 17th century. Rivalry. Now this is to be kept in mind. This diagram should be kept in front. Rivalry between Russia and Turkey starts from 17th century. 17th century rivalry between Russia and Turkey starts. Because of what? Warm water policy. Eastern European states were suffering under Ottoman rule. This is also clear from 15th century. In the last phase of 18th century, when Turkish empire started becoming weak, last phase of 18th century when Turkish empire started becoming weak, the Eastern European states started declaring their independence. Montenegro, 1799, Montenegro. Montenegro was the first state to declare its independence, 1799. Serbia, 1820s. Greece, 1830s. 31 or 32? Now keep these two things in mind. 17th century, rivalry starts between Russia and Turkey. Because of what? Warm water policy. 18th century, Eastern European countries, taking the advantage of the weakening of Ottoman Empire, started declaring their independence. Example, Montenegro, Serbia, Greece. This became very helpful for Russia, and Russia immediately sided with Eastern Europe on two grounds. First ground, religion. Greek Orthodox Church. Two churches are famous, Catholic, Roman Catholic and Greek Orthodox. So both follow Greek Orthodox Church. And race. Slav race, Slav. In both the areas, Slav race is dominant. Russia immediately sided with Eastern Europe on two grounds, religion and race. And when Russia sided with Eastern Europe, this alarmed Britain and France. Because if Russia in alliance with Eastern Europe will eliminate Ottoman Empire, Russia will dominate Silk Route. And if Russia will dominate Silk Route, the next target of Russia will be British and French colonies in Asia like India. You got the point? Russia, when Eastern Europe started declaring its independence, Russia sided with Eastern Europe on two grounds: race and religion. And if Russia in alliance with Eastern Europe eliminates Ottoman Empire, Russia will dominate Silk Route. And if Russia will dominate Silk Route, the next target of Russia will be the colonies of Britain and France, India, Burma. In this situation, Britain and France sided with Turkey. And this involvement of all the European powers in the matter of Eastern Europe and Silk Route is called as Eastern Question. Clear? This involvement of all the powers in the matter of Eastern Europe and Silk Route is called as Eastern Question. I said this story is very old, but the main story starts from Crimean War. So first heading, Crimean War, 1854 to 56. The story of Eastern Question is too old, but the main story starts from Crimean War. What is Crimea? Oesophagus of Russia. So, war between Russia and Turkey. Reason? Encroachment. Encroachment by Tsar Nicholas I. Of what? Danubian territories. Danubian territories, Danubian. Outcome? Paris Peace Conference, 1856. Now see this here, 1854-56. The two powerhouses of Britain are in trouble. Unrest in United States of America, and unrest is increasing in Hindustan. See? Law of connectivity. Unrest in United States of America. America is moving towards civil war. And unrest is increasing in Hindustan. So this was the right time for Russia to take the advantage, because mature people never fight on double fronts. And then Tsar Nicholas I sent some message to Britain कि भाई, you are also Christian, I am also Christian, both are Christian brothers. Let's eliminate this Muslim power Turkey. Britain said, uncle, we have already explained to your great grandfather, Tsar Alexander I, that relation does not depend upon religion. Relation depends upon interest. But then Tsar Nicholas I thought, okay, fine. You won't be able to open the next front. And then he enters into Eastern Europe and starts occupying the territories of Eastern Europe. Turkey attacked Russia. When Turkey attacked Russia, Britain and France sided with Turkey. Cavour gives the help to Britain and France, Italian leader, and Russia was defeated. But then the problem of Britain was that Britain cannot ignore Russia. Why? Sometimes you get involved in such a big dilemma. It happens most of the time. Mother and wife. If they start fighting, it will be very challenging for you to go on which side. And sometimes the stand of both the parties are correct. Now Britain cannot neglect Turkey. Turkey is a buffer for him to counter the entry of Russia on Silk Route. Britain cannot ignore Russia because the industrial revolution has started in Russia and Russia is emerging as a market for heavy industries of Britain. See the dilemma for Britain. Cannot neglect Turkey and cannot ignore Russia. So Britain and France, they went for Paris Peace Conference. Sultan of Turkey was invited, Tsar of Russia was invited, Cavour was invited, all of them were invited. And here Britain said to the Sultan of Turkey, okay, sir, why don't you give the equal status to the people of Eastern Europe? And we are Ahle Kitab. We have a same ancestor, Hazrat Ibrahim. You Musliman, me Christians. Sultan said, Acha, we have a same ancestor. Britain said, yes. Sultan said, don't worry, I'll give equal status to the people of Eastern Europe. And then Britain said to Turkey, satisfied? Happy? But after returning back from Paris, Sultan neglected his promise. On one side, Sultan neglected his promise. On the other side, Eastern Europe became the victim of famine. Sultan neglected his promise, and on the other side, Eastern Europe became the victim of famine. The tensions increased in Eastern Europe. And in this scenario, Bulgaria attacked Turkey in 1877. When Bulgaria attacked Turkey, Russia supported Bulgaria. Turkey was defeated and was compelled for Treaty of San Stefano. (1877), same year. Treaty of San Stefano. Important provisions of this treaty: Black Sea became the zone of Russian influence. Turkey left its claim on Eastern Europe. Bulgaria was given autonomy and was kept under the protection of Russia. Black Sea became the zone of Russian influence. Means now it will be very easy for Russia to come down to Silk Route. Turkey left its claim on Eastern Europe. They will become the satellite of Russia. Russia will dominate Eastern Europe also. Bulgaria was given autonomy and was kept under the protection of Russia. This treaty fulfilled the dream of Russians. This treaty fulfilled the dream of Russians to dominate Eastern Europe and West Asia, which in turn will lead to the dominancy of Silk Route. But it became tension for Britain and France. And British Prime Minister Disraeli immediately gave warning to Russia. British Prime Minister Disraeli immediately gave warning to Russia. Amend the treaty or face the war. Amend the treaty or face the war. And when Britain gave warning to Russia, when this drama was going on, a small boy with his grandfather was standing on the borders of Eastern Europe and he was saying to his grandfather, Ki Baba, I will also enter into this matter. Grandfather was Bismarck. Small boy, Germany. Bismarck smiled, Ki beta, don't worry, the time has come. I will create the place for you. I will create the place for you. Don't worry. And when Britain gave warning to Russia, Bismarck immediately stood up. No one will fight. This is the era of growth and development. We want peace, stability. And when Bismarck stood up as a peacemaker, this led to second development. Berlin Congress. Berlin Congress of 1878. First point, till now the centers of political activity were London, Paris, Vienna. Vienna Congress, Paris Convention, London Agreement. Till now the centers of political activity were London, Paris, Vienna. For the first time, this status went to Berlin. And this shows what? And this shows the rising status of Germany in Europe. Within 7 years. Second, important decisions of Berlin Congress. First decision, Black Sea was declared as a neutral zone. Neutral. Loss for Russia. Eastern Europe was returned back to Turkey. Loss for Russia. Bulgaria was partitioned and was kept under the protection of Turkey. Loss for Russia. Fourth point, very dangerous. To maintain the balance of power in Eastern Europe, you see, Second War, before Britain and France reached to help Turkey, the war was over. And Turkey was forced to sign the treaty. To maintain the balance of power in Eastern Europe, Cyprus, an island near Greece, was given to Britain. Britain will have its base here. And Bosnia and Herzegovina, the two Slav dominated areas, were given to Austria. Bosnia and Herzegovina. The two Slav dominated areas were given to Austria. Loss for Russia. Russia became the rabbit of Kalin Bhaiya. Who's Kalin Bhaiya here? Bismarck. Russia became the rabbit of Kalin Bhaiya. That is why I always say to you, there is nothing called faith in the game of ambition. You see how Kalin Bhaiya says to the friend of Munna Bhaiya, as Maqbool is my right hand, you are the right hand of Munna. Tomorrow you will come with us for Lucknow. He says, yes Bhaiya. Bole yes, get prepared and come. And that idiot did not understood such big people, why they are giving him so much respect. He's misbehaving with a woman in the office. And Kalin says, carry on, carry on. That idiot is still not understanding. Kalin is taking him to in front of CM. Aristocracy will never allow the common people to sit with any big shot. Never. Never. There is no possibility. There is nothing called faith in the game of ambition. Austria? Russia said, from where this Austria comes? Alright, Germany said it's a neutral power. On the name of Austria, Germany enters into Eastern Europe. And you see, from here starts the rivalry between Russia and Austria, which finally led to the First World War with the killing of the Crown Prince, Archduke Ferdinand. This Congress was successful in maintaining peace for some time in Europe, but it laid down the foundation for the First World War. Very important. Make arrow and write. This Congress maintained peace in Europe for some time, but it also laid down the foundation for the First World War. Why? Russia was completely cheated. And highly disappointed. Second, the issue of Eastern question was still not solved. Issue of Eastern question was still not solved. Third, Russia was completely disappointed. Issue of Eastern question was still not solved. Two new entries in Eastern question. Two new entries in Eastern question. Austria and Germany. And fourth, beginning of the rivalry between Austria and Russia. Or you can say beginning of the rivalry between Serbia and Austria. Very similar like the rivalry between India and Pakistan on the issue of Kashmir. Pakistan considers Kashmir as its part on the ground of two-nation theory. Kashmir is a Muslim-dominated area. Pakistan says Kashmir is my part. Similarly, Serbia considers itself as the boss of Slav people in Eastern Europe, and Bosnia and Herzegovina were Slav-dominated areas. So from here starts the rivalry between Bosnia and Serbia. But the beauty of this world is, this world has certain specific beauties and you have to respect it. I told you one more word, exploitation. Very important feature. I have given you 5 basic words: war, struggle, exploitation, interest, understanding. Exploitation. When you are weak, you will be exploited. When you are weak, you will be exploited by everyone in your life. Some on the basis of love also. You can be weak on any front. You can be emotionally weak. You are a strong man of 200 kg and 6 feet height, but emotionally you are weak. Your brother starts crying in front of you, you get emotional. Sorry yaar. It's not that you are weak on financial ground and physical ground. No, you can be weak on any ground. Weakness, people take weakness means what? Physical weakness. There are 3 types of generally weakness: physical, monetary, and third type which generally people neglect is mental. Whosoever will understand your weakness will exploit you. Inside the family, outside the family. But sometimes when you are mature, you enjoy your exploitation. You are preparing for IAS and people try to demoralize you. 10 lakh people sit in the examination. Only 15,000, 10,000 appear for mains. And you have to say, I don't want to qualify IAS. I am not here to qualify IAS. I am here because one of my classmates, a very beautiful girl, is here. I am behind her. And that will give relaxment to the people around you. They will take the deep breath inside. Thanks God, he is not serious. Whenever you show seriousness in your ambition, you unnecessarily create enemies around you. You see, sometimes you don't do any harm to anyone, but then also people speak against you. Then also people create the trouble. Talent is your enemy. Whenever you are weak and exploited, enjoy. Be happy. Appreciate the other party. Russia is not saying anything to Germany. Why? Russia is weak. Britain, France, Germany, Austria, Italy, Turkey, Britain, 5 countries on one side. Russia is alone. Germany, Austria, Italy, Britain, Turkey, 5 countries on one side. Russia is alone. One more power is alone, France. 2 alone will sit together. So you will see the formation of dual alliance after this. But aristocracy never surrenders. You see Rahul Gandhi, every election he comes out with more strength, more development. Aristocracy never surrenders. Aristocracy knows it's a game. You go and talk to Mayawati, she will never surrender. She knows it's a game. Anytime I can come into the game. Common people have average mind. They come to average conclusions. Now this will never happen. Now Congress will never come into power. But aristocracy knows it's a game. After 10 years, you will be fed up with BJP. After 15 years, you will be fed up with BJP. Anti-incumbency. When Arvind Kejriwal contested against Sheila Dikshit, the highest factor was anti-incumbency. She has already ruled Delhi for 20 years. Aristocracy never surrenders. Russia also did not surrender. Now when the direct door was closed, Russia opted for indirect door, indirect path. And that indirect path was called as Pan-Slavism. This indirect path was called as Pan-Slavism. So third heading, Pan-Slavism. Under it, the objective of Serbia was, under Pan-Slavism, the objective of Serbia was to unite all the areas dominated by Slav people. And create Greater Serbia. Under it, the objective of Serbia was to unite all the areas dominated by Slav people and create Greater Serbia. And if Greater Serbia will be created, who is the real boss of Slav people? Russia. Russia will dominate in Eastern Europe. And when Eastern Europe saw the beginning of Slav movement, Turkey saw the beginning of another movement, Young Turkey movement. Eastern Europe is seeing the beginning of Pan-Slavism, uniting all the people on the basis of Slav race. Ottoman Empire is seeing another development, Young Turk movement. Under it, the objective of Young Turk, I have told you, Young Italy movement. So it was the movement started by the students and army personnel of Turkey. Young Turk movement. Movement started by students and army personnel of Turkey for political and cultural reforms. Students and army officers of Turkey for political and cultural reforms. In political reforms, what was the demand? Constitution and Parliament, the two modern factors. In cultural reform, the demand was implementing Turkish language in entire Ottoman Empire. Turkish language in entire Ottoman Empire. Entire Ottoman Empire. You see India? Nationalism is still weak in India because we have failed to develop our language as a binding force among Indians. Language is a binding force. You are from Tamil Nadu, you came to Delhi for the first time. And when you landed in Delhi, you saw a person speaking Tamil, you will be attracted to the person. Why Kashmiris feel very much closeness with Pakistanis? Urdu. Zarra Nawazi, Khwahishein, Takalluf. Shukriya. Fitrat. Urdu is a very sweet language and it's an Indian language. When India became independent, Nehru wanted Urdu to be the national official language of India. There were two issues when India became independent. One was official language, other was national language. Nehru said, for me all the languages are important. He ended the issue of national language. So now the question was official language. Nehru said Urdu. But then 1947-48, Pakistan declared Urdu as its official language, and whatever Pakistan will do, we cannot do. And people, the pseudo-intellectuals of this country started shouting, Urdu is the language of Muslims. If you hate so much Muslims eat food also. You leave it. You Sanatani people stand in front of the sun early in the morning and do Surya Namaskar. Take the direct energy from the sun. Why you eat food? Muslims wear clothes also. Leave it. Wrap banana leaves around you. Urdu is an Indian language born in the camp of Alauddin Khilji. And the first poet is Amir Khusro, who feels very proud in calling himself Hindustani. So Nehru said, okay, fine, we will consider Hindi as official language. But then the over-enthusiastic supporters of Hindi, they started purification of Hindi. Hindi has taken some outside words. So they said, we will take those outside words like English words, we will put pure Hindi words. Rickshaw is an English word but easily understood by everyone. They said, no, Tichakra Vahak. Moving on 3 wheels. Railway station, Bhak Adda. Train, Lohpat Gamini. Moving on, Iron Road, Lohpat Gamini. Cricket, Lamb Dand, Goal Pind. A big stick and a round ball. It's an incomplete name. Lamb Dand, Goal Pind, Dhar Pakad Pratyogita. And then South Indians, especially Tamilians, said, this is the conspiracy of North Indians to remove us from civil services. Language is a binding force. You are from Gorakhpur, you are moving on the streets of New York, and you heard a person singing a Bhojpuri song, you will be attracted. Turkish language in entire Ottoman Empire. Now on one side Pan-Slavism is going on the other side Young Turk movement is going on. So there is all possibility of clash between the two powers. Cultural clash. So as a precaution, Eastern Europeans formed Balkan League. In 1911. As a precaution, Eastern Europeans formed Balkan League 1911. Balkan League 1911, and this was followed by the two Balkan Wars. Two Balkan Wars. Balkans are mountain ranges in Eastern Europe, and they act as a dividing line between the countries of Eastern Europe. So from there comes the word Balkanization in political science. Mountbatten Plan wanted Balkanization of India. Two Balkan Wars. First Balkan War, First Balkan War. (1912-13). Reason? Between Eastern Europe and Turkey. Reason? Turkey sold Bosnia and Herzegovina to Austria. Sold. By Berlin Congress, Bosnia and Herzegovina were under the protection of Austria. Bosnia and Herzegovina were under the protection of Austria. Now Turkey is selling Bosnia and Herzegovina to Austria. Why? Why Turkey is selling? Because Turkey became the victim of financial crisis. Why financial crisis? Continuous wars. Continuous wars for past 300 years. On one side, Turkey became the victim of financial crisis. On the other side, Britain and France left Turkey. Why Britain and France left Turkey? Why? What was the use of Turkey for Britain and France? They were using Turkey as a buffer. They were using Turkey as a counter on Russia. Now they have got a new ally to counter Russia. Japan. 1902, I told you, Anglo-Japanese alliance. Plus, by triple entente, Russia became the friend of Turkey. Russia became the friend of Britain. Utility of Turkey is over. Utility of Turkey is over. And then Montenegro attacked Turkey. When Montenegro attacked Turkey, Montenegro got the support of Balkan League. Turkey was defeated and exhausted. Turkey was defeated and exhausted. And then by the London Agreement of 1913, London Agreement. By the London Agreement of 1913, Turkey left all its claim on Eastern Europe, fulfilling the dream of Eastern Europe of getting independence. Fulfilling the dream of Eastern Europe of getting independence. Now Eastern Europe got independence, and this was followed by Second Balkan War, 1913-14. Second Balkan War, 1913 and 14. Till 1940s, 40s, India, Pakistan, China were fighting against Western imperialism. This is clear. Till 1940s, India, Pakistan, China were fighting against Western imperialism. After 1945, they all got independence. When they got independence, they started fighting among themselves. India and Pakistan on the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. India and China on the issue of Sky Chain. Same story here. Greece, Serbia, Bulgaria. Till 1913, they were fighting against Turkish. Till 1913, they were fighting against Turkish imperialism. 1913, they all got independence. When they got independence, they started fighting among themselves. Bulgaria attacked Greece. Bulgaria attacked Greece for that port town, Macedonia. So, the war was going on among the Eastern European countries after getting independence for territories. Situation was tense in Eastern Europe. Situation was tense in Eastern Europe. Because after getting independence, Eastern European countries were fighting among themselves for territories. And in this tense situation, 28th June 1914, Archduke Ferdinand Archduke Ferdinand, the Crown Prince of Austria, Archduke Ferdinand, the Crown Prince of Austria, was killed in Bosnia. Now, this man was not a great man, and the war did not took place for him. Sometimes incidents are small, outcome is very big. Chori chora. Incident is small, outcome is very big. End of non-cooperation movement. Kakori robbery, incident is small, outcome is very big. Sometimes incidents are small, outcome is very big. This increased the tension between Serbia and Austria. And this increased tension between Serbia and Austria became happiness for the Mogambo of Europe, William II. Because he was already searching an issue for a war between him and the old bosses. There was another incident in 1914 which made him confident that in case the war takes place, he will be victorious. Along with this incident, there was another incident in 1914 which made William II confident that in case the war takes place, he will be victorious. Which incident? Another incident. Second International. First International, 1870s, attended by Dadabhai Naoroji on behalf of India. Second International, 1914, attended by M.N. Roy. The meeting of communist leaders of entire world. And they were of the opinion, the communist leaders, that war is fought for the benefit of the capitalist class. War is fought for the benefit of the capitalist class, but the burden of the war is paid by working class. Benefit of capitalist, burden working. So they decided to oppose all types of war. And here they gave the slogan, war against war. Very important. War against war, very important. War against war. What was this war against war? Now India declares war on China. Indian Railway will immediately go on strike. And if Indian Railway goes on strike, will it be possible for India to continue the war? So under war against war, it was decided that when a country will decide to go into war, the worker union, labor union will immediately go on strike. This was called as war against war. And this was the confidence for William II that in case the war starts, these capitalist nations will not be able to fight. But then you will say that Germany was also capitalist. True, but Germany was following the policy of state socialism from the time of Bismarck. And Germany was a monarchy. In this confidence and enthusiasm, William II gave Germany gave unconditional backing to Austria. And Austria, in spite of the submissive mood of Serbia, Austria, in spite of the submissive mood of Serbia, declared war on Serbia. When Austria declared war on Serbia, Russia came forward to assist Serbia. When Russia came forward to assist Serbia, France came out to assist Russia, because both were in dual alliance. After 1878, when France and Russia came out to assist Serbia, Germany sends the army to Austria, and by the second wing of the army, under Schlieff plan, Schlieff, military commander, German military commander, under Schlieff plan, they targeted France via Belgium. Germany opens two fronts. One front, Serbia, other front, France, via Belgium. Now Germany can directly enter into France, Black Forest area. Why Belgium? Because Germany was not here to fight with these beggars. Germany's main target was Britain. Belgium was under the protection of Britain. Did you read that book? Modern World History, Normal Law. First page, first line. The capture of Lees. When Germany asked the way from Belgium to enter into France, Belgium refused. When Belgium refused, William II declared war on Belgium. When William II declared war on Belgium, it became the political compulsion for Britain to declare war on Germany. And when Britain declared war on Germany, that was the beginning of First World War. Clear? Eastern question. Crimean War, Berlin Congress, Pan-Slavism, Balkan Wars. And Balkan Wars finally turned into First World War. Now Germany, in spite of the complete preparation, complete command on NCRTs, current affairs, solving the question bank of past 10 years, proper preparation, Germany fails. I always say to you, understanding in life is very important. And when you develop a good level of understanding, it gives you a sound personality. So a very important part of competition is personality. Many people are worried about ancient and medieval India, culture of India. And many people advise to leave ancient and medieval India. They say one question from ancient, one from medieval, leave. You left ancient and medieval India. 27th June, when you sat in the prelims hall and you opened the question paper, first 50 questions from ancient and medieval India. 50. Now two things will happen. First thing, you got panicked. You started shivering. Your temperature is increasing. You slapped the invigilator in the hall. If for past 10 minutes I am asking water from you, you are not giving water. And the invigilator writes on your answer sheet, this man should not be allowed to appear in any examination in future. Your game is over. Panic means problem. Panic means defeat. You never get anything by getting panic, getting stress or pressure. You reach the railway station late, the train is moving on the station and you are running, Superman type. And by chance your leg slips, finish. Twice it happened to me. with Shatabdi. I reached the police station. Shatabdi was just slowly moving. People said to me, run. I said, no. Next train. There is no need to run. Whenever you run behind a thing, it always moves ahead of you. It always moves ahead of you. Sometimes you make a good plan, but the plan fails. Plan fails. This happened with William II. What was his main plan? War against war. But when the war started, the trade unions, labor unions, worker unions, they refused to follow the slogan war against war. They refused to go on strike. These capitalist class, they opened their treasuries. They call these communist leaders, trade union leaders, they open the treasuries, take as much money as you want. They increased the wages of the working class 10 times, 20 times, 50 times. If a worker was getting 100 rupees per day, he started getting 1000 rupees per day. And when he started getting 1000 rupees, he was unable to take his wife to a chaat corner, snacks corner. And now he can take his wife to Switzerland. He said, bhaad mein jaye communism. And leaders, 100 leaders were there, 98 took the money. 2, they stood in front of the capitalist. Okay, we are not for sale. They said, very good. You are here to die. बोले हम बिकते नहीं हैं. बोले बिल्कुल, मरते तो हो. The main plan of William II collapsed. These trade union leaders, communist leaders, they said to the working class, the motherland is in danger. No strike, no hartal. William II got panicked. In panicness, he committed another blunder. He slaps the invigilator, United States of America. See, in spite of all the preparation, in spite of all the sound preparation, there is no guarantee you will win. Because a very important part of winning is personality. Any doubt? Why William II got defeated? 3 major reasons. First reason, relying completely on others' commitment. You should have a backup plan. You never know when the situation will change. Second, hitting the invigilator. You are fighting with a person on a roadside. A person is passing by, he comes to you and he joins the hand, he stops you to fight, you slapped him. He held your neck and twists it. Finish. He was army commando. And third, fighting on all the fronts. Britain, Belgium, France, Serbia, Russia, US. He was destined to be defeated. Destined. Reasons for the First World War. Economic rivalry because of clash between cotton chain reaction and coal and iron chain reaction. Political rivalry, cautious continentalism to Weltpolitik. Social, general developments, militarization and formation of blocs. And Eastern question.